Season 1, Episode 8, Evil shows his face. Special thanks, as always, to Digimon.fandom.com and Matt ZR, the Oracle of Hopefully Awesome.
Upgrades.
There. This is Episode 8 overall. The original air date was April 25th, 1999 in Japan, and on Fox Kids it was September 22nd, 1999. The synopsis is as follows. A mansion atop Infinity Mountain provides the first good night's sleep in a while for the group, but a new and powerful evil is about to present itself to them in the form of Devimon. Devon. This is Digimon Digital Monsters Season 1, Episode 8, Evil shows his face. All right, Maggie, what did you think of this episode?
It was kind of nice seeing everybody together and somewhat happy-ish in a way.
Yeah.
Because they're sleeping in beds and getting food.
So you're talking like once they're in the mansion.
Yeah.
We kind of get to see them relax a little.
Yeah.
They've been so
stressed
hell-bent
out
on surviving. Doing what I always do, Kate. Surviving.
Why that
Surviving.
accent? Why that accent?
Hey, man. It's sorry. He does what he does. All right.
Survive.
You took all my mommy's money away. So anyway. So, yeah, they were happy. Yeah. They fought. We got to see Digimon Digivolve multiple times, a couple of different times. And we got to actually get an intro into the overarching story. So it was a good episode.
Yes.
It felt like we were finally getting to know a little bit, you know? Like up till this point, it felt a little bit, to me as a kid, like felt a little bit episodic, almost like Pokemon. You know, where like with Pokemon, you can just kind of watch any episode. It doesn't really matter. Like, sure, you might miss him catching like a Pidgey or something, but like, there's not really a lot over the episodes, right? Like, sure, he's getting badges and stuff, but I mean, you're not really missing anything.
No,
right?
And also there's a previously.
Yeah, but with Digimon, this is the first time it felt like, oh, there's a plot.
Yeah, and
like if you miss an episode, you're actually gonna be lost. Like, if you went from last week's episode to next week's episode and just totally missed everything in this, you would be lost. Yeah. Like, you'd be like, what are you, why is everybody on flying beds? Why is they're on an island and it's all, like, shattered? And there's the devil? Satan is here? What did I miss? But, yeah, so I did appreciate that this finally started getting into that, you know, because I enjoyed the characters and stuff at the time. Like, it was, had it not gone into this side of actually like an overarching story, I still would have enjoyed the show. I would have been maybe less inclined to actually tune in every single episode, but when this started, it was like, oh, okay, I've got to pay attention.
That's how I was with Sailor Moon, wherever it hit, I think Sailor Moon S. Like at a certain point, everything that's been building up, it comes to not an end, but big things start happening, and if you missed an episode during that time, you lost. I mean, even like up to this point, you know, probably the biggest show that I'd watched was like Power Rangers. You know, and like sure, there were certain things that would take place over time, like in space, right? And like kind of go back to recalling things that had happened in previous seasons and stuff. But like the majority of those episodes were very standalone. Like, oh, this is a bee monster, and you gotta, he likes flowers, and Cassie doesn't trust him or whatever, you know. And like seeing this, I think this was really one of the first shows that I watched that like showed me there could be more to television than just these one-off episodes. You know, that like you could tell a story over 50 episodes. Yes.
And I'm obviously Digimon's not the first one to do it, but it was the first one for me that I actually watched and gave a shit, you know. And so, this episode kind of kicks all that off, and it's exciting. Like, finally be here. Like, I've loved the first 7 episodes. Like, obviously some of them were more hits and less misses and stuff. But I'm glad that we're finally getting to where the story, the plot of the season, we're finally understanding, like, what are these gears? Who's the bad guy? I mean, there's still so many questions to be asked, but like, it gets me excited thinking about, hearing like, 20 episodes, we're going to be seeing like Maotismon and stuff. And like, it just gets so freaking good. And it gets so, like the level of intensity just goes bonkers between now and the end of the series, where it's like, oh yeah, this could be the end of all of everything.
It's the end of time.
It's a Pokemon. But yeah, it's very exciting. So I really enjoyed this episode myself. But Maggie, you know what else I enjoyed? This episode is brought to you in part by a free 30-day trial of Amazon Prime. That's right, everybody. If you ever wanted access to a world of entertainment, speedy deliveries, and exclusive deals, well, with Amazon Prime, you can get all that and more. Stream thousands of movies and TV shows, including classics like Pokemon Gold and Silver, Yu-Gi-Oh! The movie, which is actually good, and Digimon Adventure Tri. You don't want to watch that right now if you're just starting Digimon, because that's like way in the future. You'll be lost. Just don't worry about it. But it is really good. You can listen to ad-free music and enjoy unlimited reading. Plus, with Prime's fast and free shipping, you'll never have to wait long for your orders. Ready to experience the best of Amazon? Well, then use the link in our description of this episode to sign up for a free 30-day trial of Amazon Prime today. Discover the benefits and see how it can make your life easier and more enjoyable. Don't miss out on this hopefully awesome opportunity. And now, back to the show.
What is it good for?
Absolutely nothing. Say it again.
How the big bad plot progressed this week. So, of course, we finally got some information on the Black Gears. Devimon is finally revealed as the big bad who's behind the Black Gears, taking control over Digimon. The Black Gears are revealed to be held within Infinity Mountain and cause the entire island to break apart. Devimon has been using the power of the Black Gears to take control of and rule over the digital world. Devimon, though, believes the children are in fact the Digi-Destined, who are chosen to rescue the digital world from his rule. He then tries to destroy the children, but they are instead split up over various sections of the now broken Infinity Mountain Island. So lots of lore.
Yeah.
We went from zero lore to all the lore.
Oh.
Like literally within it's when Devimon is talking to Leomon and Ogremon.
Yeah.
They just go back and forth for like 2 minutes, and it's like, oh, I'm Devimon. I'm going to rule the entire digital world, but that's the Digi-Destined, and they're here to stop me because it has been prophesied about. And Leomon's like, oh, well, I'll never fight for you because I'm fighting for them.
The Digi-Destined are here.
Yeah, and it's like, there's so much that they just dumped on us. And like, don't get me wrong, I love being dumped on, right? I love a good dump, okay? I love when shows just bend over and just put a bunch of lore on me, right? Just all over my face. I love it. I want it. I soak it in, okay? And sorry. It was just a lot. And I feel like I could be wrong here. I feel like it was maybe pushed in there because of Saban. Like they crammed it all in there. Like I would assume the Japanese version was a little more subtle and not just like, here's 2 minutes straight of the entire plot of the series so that we can move on quickly, because American kids don't like this. Like, so I don't know. I could be totally wrong there. Maybe the entire series worked the exact same way.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was so crammed in there. And like now we spend the next, of course I know where the show's going. You know where it's going. Over the next like 4 episodes, we really slow back down to focusing just on like 2 characters at a time.
Yeah.
And like, we get a little bit more information, lore stuff. But I mean, to go from 0 to 1 billion to 20, like that's like the speeds that we went, right? So it's just, I'm glad they kind of figure it out by the time they get to Maotismon and stuff. They're like, hey, we can be a little more casual here. Like we can take our time. We don't have to just be like, oh, here's Gatomon and she blah blah blah.
We're gonna throw up everywhere. All this stuff.
Yeah, luckily they kind of slow down a little bit when it comes to that. So, but that's just the big bad plot. Let's go ahead and talk about the continuity of this episode.
Carry on my wayward son.
So, Maggie, the term Digi-Destined, or as they're known in the Japanese version, the chosen children, is used for the first time by Devimon. What?
Chosen children.
That's what they're called. They're like, the Digi-Destined is made for America. All right. So like anytime you watch like the teasers in Japanese for like Digimon Try or Last Evolution, they're like the chosen children have returned. It's like, well, they're in their like 20s now at this point. Like, do we really still call them the chosen children? You know? But that's what they were called. Allegedly. I don't know. All 6 of the rookie Digimon that have digivolved so far in the series all digivolved to protect the kids, some of which had just digivolved moments earlier as seen in the previous episode. So this is the first time we actually see Digimon have to digivolve back to back. One, obviously everybody together, but like Greymon had just digivolved and then, you know, went back. And now, you know, here he is again as Greymon. And so we're already seeing the fact that their powers can grow. Yeah. Right. Like you think about the first time Agumon digivolved into Greymon and he was like immediately exhausted, you know. He's like, oh, I need food, die. And like now it's like, sure, they're all really exhausted after they do this, but they were still able to do it. Yeah. So we're already seeing subtle hints that as time goes on, they get stronger, and not just in the way of like digivolving to the next level. Like they legitimately get stronger at every level that they are. So I always appreciated that they kind of took the time to do that. Yeah. Let's see here. Patamon pointedly observes a painting of an angel in the mansion, which is foreshadowing the appearance of Angemon, Patamon's champion form. Not subtle. No. Like he was like,
"What's this?"
Hey TK, what's that? That's an angel. They're kind of like you guys.
No.
Would you like me to be an angel, TK? I don't know. Let's go eat some eggs. And buy some jelly beans, please. The 8 beds in the bedroom. So I totally missed this. When they were in the bedroom, there were 8 beds.
Oh, okay.
There wasn't 7.
No.
There were 8. Yeah. There was an empty bed.
I remember you pointing that out when everybody's watching it.
Did I?
Yep.
I don't remember. I don't remember doing that. Well, the 8th bed could be foreshadowing the appearance of an 8th Digi-Destined. Now, I guess if there was a prophecy, I'm assuming, that Devimon knew about, right, assuming, then I would assume that they would be prophesying all 8. Yeah. Because we do know, if this is your first time watching Digimon, I'm sorry, like there are spoilers throughout the podcast. Yeah. But we do know there is going to be an 8th Digi-Destined. And so I'm assuming he would know that. So him creating the mansion with the idea that the 8 Digi-Destined would be there makes sense. Even though he was obviously watching the kids because he knew Patamon hadn't digivolved yet. So it's, I don't know. Like it makes sense, but it also kind of doesn't. Yeah. But if it was foreshadowing, I did appreciate that. It's probably just the artist trying to make everything perpendicular. Yeah. You know, like let's be honest, it's probably what it was. This is the first episode of the series to not feature a new Digivolution for the main cast. So we've gone 7 episodes. Every single episode, the Digimon digivolved at least one of them into something that we had not seen before. This is the first episode where we didn't get that. And I remember at the time being let down that we didn't get Patamons in this. Because I just assumed it's the next episode. Patamon's going to digivolve, obviously.
They've set up a pattern.
Yeah. And then he doesn't. And like, because in the opening credits, you see what he becomes. And I was enthralled with Angemon from the beginning. Yeah. I was like, this is rad as shit. Like, I just want to know what he is, you know? Yeah. And the fact that they saved him to be the last one to digivolve was like frustrating, but it's like they were building anticipation, and then he just didn't do it. Yeah. Oh, you know, I was like, God damn it! I wanted to see the angels. I'm a Christian. I need to see it. This is the first time we see that a Digivice has an effect on something else other than the kids and their Digimon. This happens when Leomon comes into contact with Tai's Digivice and is released from Devimon's control. So this will be kind of a reoccurring thing that happens. The Digivices having there being a little bit more to them than just the thing that allows them to digivolve, even though that's not really what they do. Obviously, the Digivice is just to cash in, to play into the lore of the fact that there was the original Tamagotchi style Digivice, right?
Yeah.
Which looked nothing like their Digivices.
No.
Obviously, looked nothing like them. They were like little bricks.
Mm-hmm.
But having like the little toy gizmo, or whatever that like ties into it. And I did appreciate the fact that there was more to the Digivices than just being like a power coin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the Morphers and Power Rangers are cool, but like they have one job. They morph. That's it. That's all they do, And like the Digivices can do so much more than that.
Yeah.
And especially in like season 2 when we get like the D3 and the D terminal and all that.
Yeah.
The way they expand it all is really cool. But I love that we see that there is a little bit more, that maybe the Digi-Destined themselves have more to offer than just being protected by these specific Digimon.
Yeah.
Like maybe there's something about them that's actually special. And again, all of this the first time we're seeing it, like, and I know where it all goes, so I can't say for certain that I thought all of this the first time I watched it. I probably didn't, but seeing where it goes, I do feel like they did a really good job of foreshadowing the actual things that they were going to do later on in the series, if they got the chance to. Obviously, it could have been shit canned at any point. Luckily, it didn't.
No.
But you know what did happen, Maggie?
What?
We had a party. And we had to welcome all the new people that we met this week with welcome to the party, pal.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Here are the Digimon and other characters that we met this week. So first up, we met Ogremon, the champion level Digimon, the Ogre Man Digimon, whose attribute is Virus, obviously. Special move is Pummel Whack. Hey, Leomon, it's Pummel Whack. Hey, it's me, Hercule. I don't know. It's been 2 weeks since I heard Ogremon. I don't exactly remember exactly how he sounds, but it's somewhere in there. Ogremon is a demon Digimon resembling an Oni in Japanese folklore. The attacks it carries out with its muscles have tremendous destructive power. It has a high intelligence but a rough temper, the driving force behind its destructive anger. It is very belligerent, and is referred to as the Digimon Hunter due to seeking to fight bold Digimon with as much combat power as itself. It carries a bone club that is said to be the femur of a slain Skull Greymon, which is actually really fucking cool, if I'm being honest. I don't think they ever talk about that in the show. But if that is straight up a Skull Greymon bone, that's fucking cool, man. Like, that's really rad as shit. His rival is Leomon. So we don't really talk a lot about rivals throughout like the series. I mean, the only one that comes to mind is Ogremon and Leomon. But I mean, we do see instances of Digimon being paired against each other, like obviously Angemon and Devimon, right? Yeah. Like they're kind of two sides of the same coin, right? So like this is kind of the first time we get a hint at that, but I want to say they don't really, unless I'm forgetting something, which is possible. I feel like they don't really dive into that side, that aspect of like there being, equals to go at each other. Narration by Leomon says, Ogremon, you are truly the most evil of the bad Digimon. There is no limit to your ruthlessness. I said ruthfulness.
Ruthfulness.
Next up, we met Devimon, the champion level fallen angel Digimon, whose attribute is Virus, obviously. Special move is the Touch of Evil. Devimon is a fallen angel Digimon. Its body is clad in jet black cloth. Although it was originally a shining Angemon species Digimon, it was lured to the dark side by Devimon and fell to the dark area, hell, becoming a fallen angel. As proof of that, the mark of evil surfaced dramatically on its chest. It has a cunning and fiendish personality, but it also possesses an outstanding intellect. It is said that those who have stared into its 2 eyes, which shine a deep crimson, are mind-controlled and completely dominated by Devimon's mind. The narration provided by Devimon himself. He says, "For I am Devimon, ultimate ruler of the demon underworld. You must obey my every command." Who's that Digimon?
Who's that Digimon?
It's Pikachu!
It's Clefairy!
All right, so who's that Digimon? This is where we talk about the antagonist of the episode.
Yeah.
So obviously this episode was a little difficult to nail down because we had Ogremon introduced, we had Leomon, and we had Devimon. I decided to go with Leomon because, well, mainly because I feel like he's the one that they deal with the most.
Yeah.
And the next time they would fight Leomon, he would be I'm pretty sure it's also when Devimon is like the big bad in the episode also. So I feel like Devimon's gonna get his moment there.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't want to just double down on Leomon or double down on Devimon. Even though you could make the argument that Devimon is the antagonist of the episode because he kind of sets things in motion. But I feel like the more direct link is Leomon. So Leomon is the champion level Beast Man Digimon, whose attribute is Vaccine, and his special move is Fist of the Beast King. Leomon is called the King of Beasts, as well as the noble hero. While most Digimon are ferocious, it possesses a strong will and a heart of justice, and has defeated a great number of fiendish Digimon. Also, it is a rival to the Digimon hunter Ogremon, who runs the whole gamut of destruction. Its tough flesh, tempered well by daily training, can endure any attack, and since it chokes the life out of the opponent with its quick attacks, Leomon can be said to be an outstanding combat species. The narration, provided by Ogremon, says, "Leomon, you may be mighty, but now you face me. Your kind-hearted leadership is unimpressive." So, Leomon, again, we've kind of mentioned this multiple times over the past couple of weeks. Leomon, the first real sexy Digimon that we got.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
I feel like Leomon really was when the show was like, we're different. Sure, Kabuterimon, Andromon, Togemon, sure, they're okay, it's a bug, it's a big talking cactus, right? It's a robot, sure. This is a sexy lion, okay, with a belt and leather pants.
Yeah.
All right.
And there'll be more sexy Digimon, whether you like it or not.
Oh, yeah. Listen, furries didn't exist before Digimon came out, okay? Not that there's anything wrong with that. Or maybe there is. I don't know. I've not done any research. I'm going to say there's nothing wrong with it.
Okay.
Moving on. Maggie. Now it's time to rank the Digimon of the week so far. So we're going to be adding Leomon to this list. So currently at number 7, we have Shellmon. Number 6, Unimon. Number 5, Monzimon. Number 4, Seadramon. Number 3, Kawagamon. Number 2, Miramon. And at number 1, Andromon. Maggie, where would you like to put Leomon? Now, remember, never mind. I was going to say, remember, we can only judge it off of this episode, but I mean, there's several people that I've put higher on the list because of the fact that they're in more than one episode. So, yeah, we can put him wherever the hell you want. Where are you thinking?
It's either number 2 or 1.
That's a tough one.
Yeah. Because I did like Andromon.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I would put Leomon below Andromon. I'm right there with you that I think top 2 for sure. But I feel like just a personal preference, I just like Andromon more. I'm a big sci-fi guy, so I mean, me liking an android kind of is obvious. I'm not a big Narnia fan, so Justice Lion doesn't really speak to me that much,
God.
But
Aslan.
It's Aslan. But yeah, so I personally would put him below Andromon, but I'm open to the argument if you think you should go above Andromon.
I really like Andromon because it reminded me of Castle in the Sky.
Oh, tell me why do we build castles in the sky.
Laputa.
All right, your new number 2 is Leomon, the lion Digimon. All right, so your new ranking: number 1, Andromon; number 2, Leomon; number 3, Miramon; number 4, Kawagamon; number 5, Seadramon; number 6, Monzimon; number 7, Unimon; and number 8, Shellmon. Shame on you, Shellmon.
Shame on you.
Go crawl up a shell, piece of shit.
Wow.
I don't know. I got nothing. All right, now let's talk about traitors.
Traitor!
So this segment's all about those Digimon who did things against other characters secretively, or just surprisingly. So Leomon attacked the Digi-Destined while under the control of Devimon.
What?
I know. I saw it. It was scary.
God.
I mean, he was about, like, I'll give him props in Digimon. Like, I thought they were going to stab Tai. You know, like, they didn't hold back. Like, even though it's a child and it's a giant sexy lion, like, he grabbed him by the throat and was like, I'm going to fucking kill you, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And, like, he didn't, luckily, because of the Digivice. But still, it was wild. It was crazy. There it is.
Wild and crazy kids.
All right, let's talk about puberty, but with superpowers.
Yep.
Bingo.
Change.
So some of the powers that was used this week, of course, we've got Leomon using Fist of the Beast King and Lion Sword, which I don't even think he says that. I think he just pulls out his sword, and he's a lion. So Ogremon using Pummel Whack and Bone Mace. Again, I don't recall Bone Mace being said, but it's there. And then, of course, Devimon using the Touch of Evil. Quit touching everything. You're weirding me out. You're weirding me out.
Touch.
You're weirding me out.
Touch.
All right, let's get into pizza time.
Pizza time.
So the kids find an enormous amount of food within the hotel that they find. Some of the food that they mention include, so I didn't go back and like pixel peek every scene to find out exactly what food was shown. But some of the food that they mentioned was lobster was mentioned by Mimi. TK mentions peanut butter and pickle pizza. It's a lot of peas. Sora mentions mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes. Izzy mentions potato chips, chocolate chips, and fish and chips, sensing a theme for Izzy.
Yes.
And one of the few times Tentamon opens his mouth in the entire series occurs while a group is eating, and it's really fucking weird.
Yes.
Like, it opens sideways, which I wasn't expecting. I mean, I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't that. And it looked weird. It looked bad, I'll be honest. It looked like the animator was told to make his mouth move, but like they didn't even know where his mouth was, and so they're like, here. I guess, because I mean his mouth doesn't move when he talks, so why would he even have a mouth?
Yeah,
you know. Yeah, it was weird. Maggie, would you try a peanut butter and pickle pizza?
Hell no.
Yeah, me neither. Honestly, I would. I mean, maybe for like $5.
You're nuts.
I would do a lot worse things for $5.
Did you not learn your lesson about the worms?
I don't want to talk about it. Let's get into the Saban Dub.
Nothing beats a jelly-filled donut.
So this is the part where we discuss all the things that changed between the original version and the Saban Dub of Digimon. So again, shout out to Matt ZR. I'm sure probably all of this was provided by the Oracle Matt ZR. So once again, thank you, sir, for providing the info for this. Whenever Leomon gets brainwashed by Devimon in the original episode, a lion roar is heard, and Devimon tells Leomon to accept his baptism of evil.
Don't do it.
Okay.
Don't do it.
When dubbed, Devimon questions about why Patamon hasn't digivolved, though he says nothing about it in the Japanese version. I believe that was...
That's what Samantha you are saying, yeah.
Devimon doesn't talk about the secret of teamwork in the original episode. He just realizes that the group is strong despite looking tired. So where he's like, oh, with the power of teamwork, they may look blah, but I know that if I can separate them, then they'll never be blah. None of that was in the original, apparently. Yeah. See, because American kids were just too stupid to be able to get it, you know? It's called subtext. All right. And sometimes it's called baptism of evil. Sometimes it's top text. It's just text. It's just text. It's like a book. Unlike the dub, where they mention specific food items, in Japanese, instead, they just say they're eating, and one says they guess they have to make sacrifices in the name of hunger. In the bath scene, the following shots were removed from the English dub. So, of course, there's the shower scene, the bathtub scene. So there was a shot where Ty jumps into the water, a shot where Matt and Ty try to get Joe into the bath naked.
Ugh.
Hey, come on, Joe. What are you hiding? Yeah, it's just us guys. Don't be scared, Joe. Oh, hey, you got a penis under that towel? A shot after Gomamon is thrown out of the girl's bath where he lands on Joe's head and Joe is lying on the floor naked was removed. So, yeah. Tentamon asks Izzy if he would like to add some electricity to the water and declines, considering that would be dangerous. So it's understandable why this was removed from the dub. So Tentamon just like ready to fry everybody, you know? It's fine. Whatever. When Ogremon is hiding in the bathroom. So this is obvious.
Yes.
I just want to be very, very obvious. We all know Agumon was taking a shit. We all know that shit smelled bad. And that's why Ogremon was covering his face. We all know that. Why they decided to not... Yeah, to say that, like, he was just in there and Ogremon was just, like, giggling at Ty and Agumon. Like, we all knew what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. Like, I know Saban probably potty humor was maybe a bridge too far for him, I guess. I don't know. But still, it's just... that's maybe one of the more egregious dub changes that's like, this is stupid. Like, maybe the only other one I would say that's worse is the big bald round guy that drinks cola and gets drunk, but they say that it's just the bubbles making him all lightheaded. It happens later on. Don't worry, mate. You'll remember when we get there. So when Ogremon is hiding in the bathroom, he covers his mouth. In the English dub, this is to stop himself laughing at Ty and Agumon, who haven't noticed him. Though in the original episode, this is because Agumon lets off a horrible smell whilst on the toilet. Ogremon then comes out of hiding because of the stench. The actual moment showing Leomon pinning Ty up against the wall is cut out of the English dub. So it's going to show Leomon being even more rough than he was. In the original, Agumon went with Ty to the bathroom because he actually had to go. But in the English dub, he says he only went because he wanted to protect Ty from any potential danger, though he didn't want to say why he was in the stall. Additionally, in the original version, he says having eaten so much would have made it easier for him to poop, while farting sound effects were heard. In the dub, this is changed to him talking about how Ogremon might still be out there, and the farting sound effect were in fact removed. Unfortunate. I know Maggie loves a good fart sound effect. I hate you. Agumon refers to Devimon in Japan as the strongest evil Digimon. Devimon announces the episode title in the Japanese episode, and the term Digi-Destined is not used in the original version. Instead, they are referred to as the Chosen Children. So, lots of lots of changes, because again, just American kids can't know about the bathroom, apparently. Can't know that bits and pieces exist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know, I get that part. Like, I understand why they didn't show like naked boys on Fox Kids. Like, I get that. I'm kind of glad. They didn't.
Terrifying.
Do that. Yeah, and there's only so many little bushes you can add to a frame to block things. Dragon Ball, I'm looking at you. All right, that's just Prime.
Well, that's just Prime.
All right, we got Joe. I knew I wouldn't like camp, but would my folks listen to me? No, I wanted to go to summer school. We got Agumon and Ty. Do you want to be Agumon?
Sorry about your map.
That's okay. At least it didn't fall into the hands of the enemy. It's so stupid.
I can't
His
do
map
it.
is awful. All right, we got Agumon and Ty again.
This place should be on your map.
Agumon, if you recall, you burned up my map.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we got TK and Patamon.
I'll be Patamon.
Okay. Hey, look it! It's an angel.
What's an angel, TK?
Something special that watches over you. Kind of like you guys. My voice is starting to leave, so it's just terrible.
It's okay. I could be Joe.
You want to be Joe? All right, be Joe.
That's it. I can't bear to look any longer. I'm gonna eat it. At least I won't die hungry.
That was a terrible joke. That was terrible.
I'm a girl. Of course it's gonna sound horrible. My Padawan was pretty good.
Yes, it was. I liked it.
Humans can be so silly.
Humans aren't the only silly ones. Where's Gabumon?
He's not silly, just shy.
And he's sitting there holding his fur. He's like, I don't want to be naked. Which, I mean, I don't blame him. I don't want to be naked in front of a bunch of guys. You know? I never understood why that's considered weird. Like that I don't want to show
your stuff,
my junk to a bunch of dudes. Like, you know?
Your dude parts.
Yeah. Like, why is that weird? I feel like that's normal. That should be normal. You know, you should be embarrassed by your body. Okay? That's what I was taught. Okay? You should regret your body. I'm still just so in the weeds about Gabumon's fur. Because, like, they've mentioned it a couple of times. And it comes up again in the next episode. But then, like, I feel like we just kind of never talk about it. And, like, I don't know. I just never really understood.
Yeah.
Like, what's the deal with his fur? You know? Like, I get he's being covered, obviously. But, like, I don't know. And there's also, like, 4 legs on the fur. So, like, did he skin a tiny Garurumon? You know what I mean?
Maybe it's his own fur.
Maybe it's like a onesie.
Maybe.
And he puts it on before he digivolves, and then he, you know, like when Elmira wears the cheetah pajamas.
Kiss yourself, kiss yourself.
That was Tiny Toon Adventures, my summer vacation or something like that. All right, let's get into Digimon References, part of a bigger universe.
You become part of a bigger universe. You just don't know it yet.
All right, so there's a painting in this episode depicting an angel with its hands raised in prayer. I lift my left hand one, I lift my right hand two. Under the morning sun, my spirit cries to you. Okay, here I will stay as I raise my hands and surrender today. It's The Waiting.
The Waiting.
The Waiting. I think they had one album. They're probably terrible, honestly. Like, I mean, like, I liked them back in the day, you know, when I would listen to, like, some Third Day and Reality Check. But, like, I'm sure if I look back at their lyrics, they're probably pieces of shit, you know. I can't think of any, like, good Christian music that I used to like that didn't end up being just a bunch of fucking assholes, you know? I mean, I'm just being honest. But you know what else I'm being honest about?
What?
Next time on Digimon.
Next time, Gadget. Next time.
All right, so we are entering the 9th episode. Finally, we are finally getting there. It feels like it took us a month just to get from 8 to 9.
It did.
But it is season 1, episode 9, Sub-Zero Ice Punch.
Batman Sub-Zero?
No, Frigimon. I'm pretty sure that's his name. He's a big polar bear.
Okay.
And he talks like somebody. I want to say it's like maybe a Rudolph the Claymation special or something. Like I don't know. I always thought he sounded like John Candy or something.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. He has a very distinct voice. And he's like, "Hey, I'm Frigimon. Fuck off." That's not what he says at all, obviously. Maggie, you ready to call it or not?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
I'm sorry.
So, everybody, that's going to wrap it up for us for this week's episode of My Adventures with Digimon, our weekly Digimon vodcast. That's right. Remember, if you'd like to support the channel, you can head over to patreon.com/hopefullyawesome or join us right here on youtube.com/hopefullyawesome. You can get access to the Google Drive, get your name in every episode. You can also just generally support the channel. We greatly appreciate it. But if you don't have any bucks to toss our way, it's totally fine. This episode was brought to you in part by a free 30-day trial of Amazon Prime. You can use the link in the description of this very episode to get your free 30 days of Amazon Prime. It's good stuff. And also, if you're listening on a podcast, on your podcast feed, please be sure and rate this episode. We would appreciate a 5-star rating and any comments you would like to leave. And if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you. Thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for being here. Be sure and hit that like button. And if you enjoyed it, share it. Send it to somebody who you think would enjoy it as well. And say, hey, you know, I haven't talked to you in a few years, but I just want you to know I'm still in love with you. And I think you should watch these guys talk about Digimon because they're really fucking weird.
Yeah.
But that's going to wrap it up for us, everybody. Thanks for watching. And as always,
have a hopefully awesome day.
Bye.